Hello and welcome to Politics. Today I'm Farooq Patafi. Viewers, once again we have to talk about Pakistan's politics. In Pakistan's politics, many interesting things keep on happening. And while most of our national discourse is focused on what is going on in Afghanistan, at that time it seems that for the third time, Pakistan Democratic Movement, a willy-nilly alliance of opposition parties, which has already ejected two major parties or two major members, one People's Party and the other one is ANP. They have jettisoned these two members. Despite that, that very party, that very organization met again, held a rally yesterday, and we are told now that they are going to march on Islamabad. So what exactly is going to happen in coming days? This is a big question that we have to actually talk about. We have to ask our guests today whether there is any substance to PDM's future or claims. On the other side, People's Party, another very important political party in the parliament, a party that rules Sindh as well, is also doing something very interesting. If you look at how our opposition parties are behaving, they remind you of how they are behaving in India, that undercutting each other actually benefits the incumbent party. That seems to be happening right now. Today, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari actually unleashed quite a tirade against PMLN and PDM, and he said that they, by evicting his party, actually they betrayed the entire concept of opposition parties movement. We are going to talk about all these matters and more in order to help us understand these issues, and then there are legal aspects of various things that are happening. In order to do that, we are joined by Arif Chaudhry Sahab in the studio, who's an expert on legal affairs. He is a constitutionalist. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Ahmad Jawad Saab, Central Secretary Information, Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, also joins us in the studio. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. The third guest who has joined us on Skype is Ali Rashid, who is leader of Pakistan People's Party, a young leader of Pakistan People's Party. He used to be in another party, but now he is working for, and he is quite agile. Thank you very much, sir, for being part of the program. Let me start with the studio. Let me ask Arif Chaudhry Sahab. Arif Chaudhry Sahab, as a neutral observer, do you think that the opposition parties can unite again and put up some resistance to the government?
Not really.
Okay.
I don't see any chances. Especially they have gone too far against each other, because even they were not essentially together, because the way things have been happening in past. There is a very famous saying that did he kill your father? So that is the animosity which never ends.
Right.
And this is what happened between these two parties, and they were united only on one point, and that was a common cause, and cause that they should be able to, put a serious threat to the government who was, acting on this accountability, and they were really scared of this accountability. So they thought that if we are together, we can give tough time to the government. But that didn't, happen, because they never got united in true sense.
Right.
Yeah.
You're talking about People's Party and PMLN.
Yeah.
There's another issue also.
Yeah.
Mariam Nawaz, this time was no show.
Yeah.
And in the past, we have seen Shehbaz Sharif was not visible. And the pundits keep on talking about a divide between these two people. So there seems to be not only divide between political parties, but within as well.
Yeah. I think we should we should congratulate the government that they're very lucky. They don't have a serious threat from outside, particularly from these political parties, because there is only one serious enemy of this government, and I think they have created him, and he is the big monster.
Who's
let
that?
me change.
Who's that?
Hazrat Ala. Hazrat Maulana Fazlur Rahman.
Okay.
He's the
Okay.
only,
I thought
arch
that-
enemy.
I thought that you are going to say that the biggest threat to the government comes from within. So he has congratulated your party for actually inheriting a very, very interesting opposition which is divided. But is it not true that they still are in business because your government still is experimenting with governance?
First of all, I have to say thank you very much to Arif Chaudhry Sahab. He's been very kind to congratulate us and gave his neutral opinion, obviously. If I look at the PDM, if PDM with 11 political parties,
No, 9.
previously,
Yeah.
11 political parties, and their top leadership was on board, and they were holding protests countrywide, all over the country, for nearly 1 year, and nothing could come out. And in fact, they could not even make the people come out on the streets and the roads. You know what it was basically the purpose of that agitation against the government, and they could not convince the public to come out on the roads. And I think that was at the end, when nothing was visible for them, what really they have to do at the end of the road. Then People's Party and ANP, they left the PDM.
Yeah, can I ask a follow-up question if you allow
Yeah,
me?
sure.
Let me take you back to the day when Multan Jalsa of PDM was taking place. On one side, you are saying that they were not able to bring out people to the tune that you expected. On the other side, you and I both were discussing back in those days because of coronavirus that they shouldn't actually engage in these activities. And when they get crashed into Multan's venue, at that time, I remember everybody from PTI was criticizing that. So is it not true that opposition actually had to endure a lot of pressures like coronavirus for that matter?
First of all, opposition should have realized that their timing may not be good if the COVID is a challenge. Secondly, the other pressures. I mean, any opposition, when they come out on the road, they want to run an agitation against the government. I mean, they should be ready for the pressures. I mean, what do they expect? Is it a piece of cake that they will just walk over and whatever is the agitation or objective, and the government will go home? No. Agitation, a movement, a protest by the opposition, when it comes on the roads and streets, they should know what are the challenges and what are the consequences.
Right.
Because
And
the
by the
challenges were obvious, you mentioned, but the consequences is that once you have done your best, you have taken out every resource which you have, your narrative, your combination of major political parties, and then going across the country, and yet you are unable to see the response from the public. So obviously it is going to fire back.
Okay.
And that is the reason that now it's almost, I think, 6 months that opposition seems like it doesn't exist on the ground.
Right.
And People's Party, I think they have their own problems.
Very quickly, what
whether
are
it is
those
Sindh
problems?
or it is Karachi, and I think they have to survive themselves. So PDM and People's Party, it really doesn't matter for us.
Right. Even though while you were talking about piece of cake, bringing governments down isn't a piece of cake. Since 1977, no government has ever fell because of any street agitation, including your agitation.
No, but
let me,
the consequences of many agitation resulted into something.
yeah.
So you should know whether the decision came through a Supreme Court, whether the decision came, not the decision, I mean the imposition of martial law came in the past. So
No, after
there
77,
are
it didn't
agitations
happen.
which change the canvas, political canvas.
It didn't happen after 77, but I will come back to you. Let me bring in Ali Rashid Saab. Ali Rashid Saab, your party seems to be caught between two desires. One desire to actually align with the opposition and agitate against the government, And I remember the early days of of this government's creation. At that time, Sharri Rahman Sahib actually was designated as the head of the alliance against the government. But then we heard that Zardari Sahib has asked everybody in People's Party not to support that idea. On one side, you have this desire to work with the opposition. On the other side, it seems, and pundits keep on saying, that you want to engage with the government as well because you want to survive in Sindh. Your take, sir. Ali Rashid Sahib, can you hear me?
Sorry, I was having some technical difficulties. I could not understand your question. If you could just repeat it.
It was a long one. It will take me a lot of time to repeat it, but let me try to actually summarize it. It seems that your party is split between two desires. One, to work with the opposition, the other one, to work with the government and get some kind of concessions. Which one is ruling your or deciding your direction right now?
Well, okay, I got it. Well, it does seem like that we are stuck between a rock and a hard place, but our desire, truly our desire is to get rid of this PTI-led government, and we've been, every day we've been highlighting their shortcomings and what kind of
Right. Carry on, I'm listening. Okay, there seems to be some technical problem again. So that might actually be the symbol of our opposition parties at this moment as well. Sometimes they communicate, sometimes they don't. Arif Chaudhry,
Blame will come on the technical things.
right. So, I mean, as if you are not creating technical hurdles.
We are not doing anything
Okay.
here.
Arif Chaudhry Sahib, at this moment, do you think that any of the opposition parties or their leadership is in the clear in view of the accountability process? Has People's Party broken through those concerns they had about the accountability of the cases?
As far as the accountability process itself is concerned, so far I think the situation is very abysmal, very pathetic.
Okay.
Because, one thing which they should really worry about, the government, that, it's not going to be result-oriented. So far, it has not been result-oriented, this accountability process. And what does it mean? It goes against whatever they have been saying, because their claim was very lofty. They always said that, we want to...
Okay. Allow me to actually very quickly go back to Ali Rashid. Ali Rashid Saab, is your party stuck? Is it facing technical difficulties as well?
No, actually we are not stuck, and I think it's very clear that we want to get rid of the PTI, and we have seen in these 3 years what kind of torture with the food inflation and the kind of performance they've actually showed, and it has been very disturbing for the common man, since the common man has gotten no relief. So our priority is to make things work, and even if not with PDM, we are still, our struggle is going on, and mind you, we are doing very well. We are defeating PTI in all the elections, by-elections which are happening. We're doing a very good job, and I think we're really keeping them on their toes. And
hang on. Where did you defeat them? Did you defeat them in Punjab, where your party seems to be not present?
No, but we did defeat them in Karachi, where we were...
Karachi is a different story, isn't it?
No, actually it isn't, because, in Karachi, we were number 6th, and PTI held the seat, and now the tables have turned. This time around, they were number 6, and we won the seat, which was earlier theirs. So things are changing. Rome was built in...
Hang on. You realize that the by-elections you are referring to actually, saw very little turnout, not even 10%.
I do realize that. It was actually a bit more than 10%, but it was legit, and by-elections usually do have a lower, as opposed to real elections. But that being said, I think we are, doing a very good job. I think not a day goes by when we don't bring up some issue or some shortcoming of PTI, where they are, they're not able to perform. So I think
Okay,
we're not
no, no,
cozying up.
hang on.
This is
I
where.
understand what you're saying. I totally hear you. Now, let me ask you another thing. If PMLN has managed to evict you from PDM, and that's why your leadership is criticizing, but you still want to actually bring down the government, why are you not forming your own alliance to counter PDM?
No, look, if two people with the same agenda want to counter each other, divided we fall, united we stand. So,
Yeah,
I
but
you know,
as circumstances stand today, divided you stand. United, I don't know what happens. Right, let me come back to the studio and let me ask Arif Chaudhry sir. Arif Chaudhry sir, I was asking that initially there were cases against PMLN leadership and PTI leadership. We saw People's Party leadership. PMLN's leadership got indicted. Nawaz Sharif actually was in prison. One fine morning, government allows him to travel abroad, and he hasn't returned. But People's Party's leadership, their cases, we were told before the elections that the cases were slam dunk, that all this GIT business will ensure that they are behind the bars. At this moment, what is the status of those cases?
All those cases are at the same position where they were, because the system, judicial system in our country, in place is that no case can reach its logical conclusions.
Okay.
People
Coming from a lawyer, it is a big indictment.
I'm very sure about it. Because even if it is decided by the by law that there's a certain time framework within which this case has to be concluded by all means, it never meets that goal. It never reaches that destination. And we I have been conducting those cases where the deadline was given for 6 months or less than that even, but it took 3 years. So again, rather more than that, and because the system allows adjournments, the system allows so many things. It's not only lawyers, the judges themselves,
Okay.
the prosecutors, and the witnesses which you have to bring.
But with due respect, what does the NAB law say?
Whatever
What
NAB
is
law
the
says,
what is the NAB law says about the duration of a case?
duration, they had given 30 days.
Right.
Yeah, but because you give such a framework which is not reachable, which is not plausible, and which is not otherwise possible. Because within 30 days, how can you conclude a case where there are more than 150 witnesses? And there are so many cases, I can count on them, that in one case there are 70 witnesses, in other case there are more than 100 witnesses, and every witness has to appear in the court, give his evidence, and then he has to be cross-examined, and you cannot stop the lawyers from asking the questions, except in extraordinary circumstances where
So,
he is repeating.
what is the status of Zardari Saab's case, GIT case?
We don't see anything happening. It is standstill. He is on bail.
He's on bail.
Yeah,
Right. And that continues
that continues.
indefinitely?
It is going to be heard in September, and you never know. Again, he is going to be bailed out, or
Right.
because although it should. I'm sorry for a minute.
Right.
That there should be a way. That you should be conducting this bail application on one side, but the prosecution should be doing its own job by putting up the challan or submitting references. But here we don't see that happening. And you have seen the way they conduct themselves. NAB. They is so irresponsible that
Okay.
the guy who was.
I
could
don't
not
want
get-
to be held in contempt.
Yeah.
Allow me to actually move on to Ahmed Jawad Saab. Ahmed Jawad Saab, remind me, your party has just finished or completed its 3 years in power. Remind me, what was your number one slogan for past 22 years?
I think accountability was definitely one of the top agenda, one of the top agenda.
It was number one, if I remember.
Yeah, one of the top agenda.
Okay.
And,
And against whom? Who were to be held accountable?
accountable, anybody who is corrupt.
From political side, you kept on naming people.
Yes, political side, but when it is about corruption, it cannot be restricted to only politicians.
Right, I
Corruption
understand
should
that.
be tried.
I understand that.
yeah.
But your leader, Prime Minister of Pakistan, Imran Khan Saab, kept on talking about certain individuals. Nawaz Sharif,
There is a
Zardari.
reason. There is a reason when we specially focus on
No,
the politicians, because
I'm not
Imran Khan is a
criticizing.
politician.
I'm not
PTI is
criticizing
a
that position.
PTI is a political party, and when it has to talk about the accountability, obviously the priority and the focus of the accountability would be the opposition parties and those opposition parties who have been ruling this country.
Right.
You cannot make people accountable who are not in the government. You will make people accountable who were in
understand.
the government.
But I just wanted you to name the people, and then I had a question for you. Imran Khan Saab used to say that the fish rots from the top, right? And naturally, he used to talk about Asif Ali Zardari. He used to talk about Sharif brothers and the Sharif family. Right now, all of them are moving about freely. You haven't been able to hold anyone accountable. One person actually went to jail before you came to power, and you allowed him to go abroad, and you haven't taken action against anybody.
First of all, when somebody is on the bail, he can move freely. So don't be surprised.
And
on
Nawaz
that.
Sharif is on bail, right?
No, I'm not talking about
He's not
Nawaz
on
Sharif.
bail.
Did I?
No,
Did I?
no, but
Did
I was
say?
asking you about
But because you said that most of them, those who were tried or
All
who
of
were
them.
attempted to
All
try,
of
and this, you said that they are moving freely. Of course, if somebody is on bail, he can move freely. I'm not a legal expert.
There's a
but
lawyer
also-
here. They can't move that freely.
Yeah.
What is that freedom? I mean,
Because
you can
know,
go
they
to
have
that room
restrict
and you cannot
themselves
go to
within the
that room.
limits of the court.
I mean, yes, court can decide, but I think the bails have been granted to number of cases. And I think this is a procedure which Arif Chaudhry Sahab has pointed out, rightly pointed out, that there are flaws in our judicial system, and especially the white collar crime. And when you take such high profile cases to the court, and there are hundreds of witnesses, there are hundreds of the evidence which have to be collected. Otherwise, then there is a political narrative coming up that we are being politically victimized. So it has to be everything. But let me
Who is responsible to fix at this moment when you actually are ruling the country and 3 provinces? Who's responsible for fixing these systems?
first of all, let me tell you that
Judiciary, you're talking about judicial system, but let us also talk about accountability law that he also mentioned.
Yeah.
Who's going to fix that?
First of all, because we were talking about accountability, and then I think the next question is about the performance and the role of the present government. So let me inform you that in 17 years of NAB, they had collected almost 288 billion rupees. And in 3 years of PTI government, NAB has collected 585 billion. So it shows a remarkable improvement.
Right.
But yes, there is a lot to be done. There is a lot of things needs to be improved.
No,
it
you
is
just
judicial
said-
reforms or judicial policy that
Ahmed
needs
Jawad
to
sir,
be
you
reformed.
just told me earlier that there are problems with the judicial system and accountability system.
Yeah.
So who's going to fix that? Not the parties which are indicted themselves,
I
right?
think we need judicial reforms, we need amendment in the constitutions, and that will come when a government has some healthy, good majority, 2/3 majority to make amendments in the
You don't have
constitution. We don't have that. And I
So,
think that is one
Given
handicap.
given that it was your number one promise, is there a chance that you seek a fresh mandate now so that you have the majority? Because if you cannot actually focus on your number one issue, priority, what
First
are you
of
going
all,
to do?
I,
One of the
I just corrected your statement, because you said that if you have not been able to handle your number one issue, and I just gave you some statistics. So the statistics,
but
they speak
no,
something
no,
else.
no, don't be.
It does not
Don't beat the
give
argument.
a,
Don't beat the argument with technicalities.
No, not
You were
with
talking about
technicalities.
Nawaz Sharif.
No, I'm not talking
Sharif
about.
brothers, Zardari family, umpteen other elites. PM, every time he speaks, mashallah, he mentions this, that the elite shouldn't be corrupt. Because when they are corrupt, the country actually suffers. So you'll have to fix something or then seek a new mandate.
Yeah. First of all, none of them have been acquitted. All of them may be granted bail. They are still under trial. They are still accused. Nobody has been given NRO as against the past editions. And same time, I told you that how NAB has been able to perform better than the past years. So those are the figures which, I mean, it is available to everyone.
Can I have
it's
an
not something
interim
which I
question?
am taking
Very
out.
quickly, you can.
But for
and
the
then I'm
judicial
going to
reform,
go
Just a second.
One reform, I tell you that once we try to, accountability is one top agenda, but another top agenda is elections. And we try to bring reforms in the elections. And you have seen the response of the opposition, that how we are going to pass through that.
Yeah.
And
Let
so
me
there
just humbly.
Yeah, it's not so easy with thin majority in the parliament that you can
Let me
make.
humbly remind you, and I have to then go to R.S. Chaudhry Sahab, that in 2014, you actually had this mammoth jalsa in Islamabad. It could not bring down the government or bring about change. Then your second argument, because it was essentially about electoral reforms or rigging. In 2018, your slogan was once again accountability. Just before that, you actually played a very good innings on Panama Papers and very effectively totally removed the previous government's main actors from power. So that also happens. Your first principle, that was accountability, pays you. The other things don't. So I don't know whether we should
I
be
think both
focusing
are
on
important.
electoral reform.
No,
Allow me.
it's a friendly, a question from friendly opposition.
Okay.
You know, the performance which, Ahmed Jawad has told, is it of the NAB or of government? Because government cannot take the ownership of
No,
NAB. It's
not
an
at all.
independent.
Okay.
Not at all.
I have to go to the
But
People's
again,
Party's gentleman
just
also.
Just one point, because then
Sorry.
just one point.
He's
because,
sitting
because
outside.
he has raised a point. Then we should not talk about the performance of the government if it is about the cases in the courts or cases in the NAB. I mean, then the very foundation of today's program or any talk show which is talking about performance of the government based on relative to accountability, you cannot have this discussion. I mean, answer to his question.
Okay.
That you.
All right, and that is your opinion.
It's the role of
Ali-
the NABs.
Ali Rashid Saab, let me ask you, your party must be very happy. All the opponents, PTI doesn't seem to be willing to actually push that kind of reforms that might actually hold your leadership accountable very, very quickly. And then PMLN keeps on pushing back against you, but still you have managed to carve your niche in Sindh. So is People's Party happy at this moment?
Yeah, to be honest with you, we are very happy and we are very satisfied, and rightfully so. If you actually look at the optics and what's actually happening, I think People's Party is the only party in the country right now which is not facing any internal issues. PTI cannot, there are several groups within PTI, like Jahangir Tareen, etc., and a lot of issues are happening. If you look at PMLN, then you have, Mariam Nawaz, and you have Shehbaz Sharif,
Okay.
so much so Miftah Ismail.
Ali Rashid
is
Saab,
gotten
I'm
rid-
glad that you are saying
Right.
that your party is the only party that doesn't have any internal divides. Let me
Yeah.
ask you, when is Bilawal Bhutto Zardari going to contest from his own mother's seat that is held by his auntie these days?
Well, I think in due time, I guess whenever a vacancy or a
What is the
by-election,
due time, sir?
or maybe just in 2023.
Okay.
I think that
Right.
is.
You understand that every party has divisions within
But
it,
if you
even
should-
your
let me
party
just-
as well. Old guard and new guard.
Yeah. No. Look, the transition, obviously, the old guard's there with the experience, and they bring a lot to the table. The young blood is there with their energy and their new innovative ideas. So it's a combination. It's a mix and match. You can't just isolate, or you can't just have one side of the party, right? So I think People's Party gives you that diverse experience where you have youngsters with a lot of energy and new ideas. Then you have the old guard with a lot of experience and a lot of profound wisdom. So I think it's a good combination. But that being said, PMLN's local office in Karachi got attacked by its own workers. Shehbaz Sharif comes to Karachi. There are two different groups of PMLN who are waiting to receive him. And then one does a press conference saying, oh, we were supposed to receive Shehbaz Sharif. These are like really serious divides. And same is the case with PTI. I think People's Party has managed to, keep everything together. And I think we're doing a fantastic job. We are winning elections. We're keeping everything together. We are very clear about where we're headed. And I think we should be given, due, respect, and people should realize that, People's Party is the only.
With due respect, respect is earned, sir. And we'll keep on watching how your party actually treats in the coming days. But let me ask you very quickly, what is your party's end game now that we are left with only 2 years before the election? Do you really want to bring down the federal government? Or do you want to actually work with all the forces so that you become a reality and a bigger reality in 2023?
I think we will play it by ear. We are willing to protest. We want to bring down this PTI because we feel it's unfair. They just came through the back door and they weren't entitled. They were selected.
Okay.
So we do want to bring them down. But that being said, if only 1.5 years are left for the next elections, then it does make sense that coming out in the streets, maybe, that's something which we are still discussing. Is it really worth it? If only three years have gone by, 1.5, 2 years are left. Usually when 1.5 years are left, it's election year because we start our activities. So maybe we are wanting to focus on those things, highlight what kind of performance PTI has done, the food inflation, cotton crisis, wheat crisis, energy crisis, name it. Their name is synonymous with crisis. And people have realized that. If you look at PTI, they're losing elections left, right, and center. Any by-election you talk about, except for maybe 1 or 2, they've lost. So I think the people have realized, and I think very soon you'll see in 2023, People's Party is going to be playing a very big role in the center.
Right. Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong. Your dilemma or your irony or tragedy is not the one that actually afflicted Macbeth. It is the one that another person actually had, used to say, to be or not to be. So you're actually deciding whether you're going to attack the government or not. Sir, if the opposition comes back to Islamabad and actually marches on Karachi, in Islamabad, do you think that it will put government under pressure?
As far as this claim is concerned, I don't think that they are going to put any serious challenge to the government, keeping in view the present scenario in which they are divided.
Okay.
But very serious answer which I really owe to Mr. Ahmed Jawad is about that question, because that was a serious question, and I really mean it. This NAB is quite different from FIA and anti-corruption establishments. As far as the government is concerned, if they have to show some performance, it's not that, I'm not saying that, they cannot take credit of, if anything goes on against, those who are perpetrators of these, crimes, and, accountability, across the board, they have to make sure these, but the problem is right now that, they have not been able to provide all that what was required for this accountability. Even they have not set up those courts which were ordered, because until and unless you have proper courts, you cannot get those cases decided. And until and unless those cases are not decided and they don't go to the final fate, and that is the realization of that amount which is decreed, or put them on as fine.
Right.
You cannot show the people that, all the ripped off money which we claim that we will take back, we have brought that back. And so far, even my question again remains about Nawaz Sharif, who is the main, the word culprit. I would be very sorry to use that, because as far as he is a convict, they have not approached the Lahore High Court even till today. Where is that gentleman, Shahbaz Sharif, who had given undertaking, and why he is not being made responsible for bringing Nawaz Sharif back, because he had given. So it shows that, they have not been able to do what they were planning and they were claiming. And if they cannot show the people of Pakistan that they have been able to bring them to not only to book, formally, but, in terms of real crux, and that is, some
But
recovery
hang on. I understand that.
Yeah.
But if recoveries of NAB have improved during their time, shouldn't they be given any credit at all?
How can they be given that credit? Because what role they are, playing as far
They
as
say,
don't give
hang
the
on,
discredit.
allow me to finish this.
You
In
don't want to
the
give
past,
discredit, but don't want to
they
give credit.
no, hang on. They accuse that in the past, 10 years, the ruling parties used to intervene in the cases and used to actually make it difficult. The accountability process. They haven't done it. They have encouraged NAB.
your argument is weighty and they can claim the
No,
credit.
this is not my
Yeah, no.
argument.
So,
Their argument.
as far as my question is concerned, because this credit, impliedly, it will go to them. But they should try to take that credit which really should be seen, ostensibly to everybody.
That's
that
a good
they
point.
Have made a change.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Sir, Ahmed Jawad Sahab, your party was known even before coming to power as the party also that commands optics. Your jalsas used to be covered well. You would take care of how image was built and presented. And now you're telling me that your, at least on optic level, your main opposition parties, the people that you have been accusing, can do whatever they like because they are on bail. And the one person who is not on bail, who was indicted, is sitting in UK and is free to say whatever he wants to say about your party or your government. And now you cannot change the law because you don't have majority. And you'll have to wait till the next election that take place in 2023. So what are your voters supposed to do until then? Just wait?
I think I should take the point which Mr. Arif Chaudhry
You are not
raised.
going to answer me.
It will automatically
Sir,
relate to
with
your
due respect,
question.
there has been a lot of to and fro between you, both of you. You'll have to start answering my questions. as
You
well.
didn't even listen me what I'm trying to say. You just stopped me.
No, I ask you a question and you tell me that you are going to respond to his, not mine.
Please give me the freedom when I'm making an answer. There
Okay.
can be some relation to the discussion going on.
Okay.
You cannot just put me that, okay, walk on this thing. So allow
So
me.
you're not going to walk on this.
allow me to speak, because it was a long question, and after a long question there is a right of the guest that he should respond. Listen to him patiently.
Okay.
And if you don't find the answer, come again. I will answer your question
airtime,
again.
more airtime.
But at least first let me answer. Okay. I think that's my basic right. I'm referring to his point because you are asking me a question that what happened to the cases which are in the court, what happened to the cases which are in the NAB. Just few minutes before, Mr. Arif Chaudhry was saying that the credit of this recovery of 585 billion cannot be given to PTI government. Then how can you give the discredit when the cases are in the court? So it is the responsibility of the higher courts or the lower courts to decide on those cases. It is not the government who is going to replace the judge in a court and make the decision.
So who are you responding to?
I have responded both questions.
Okay, we are
your and
separate
his
people.
also.
I-
Because you are asking me
Ahmed
that
Jawad
why...
said, no,
Yeah.
hang on. No, at that time when he was saying you shouldn't be given credit, my argument was that why not, right? We are two different people. If you are going to answer both, you will have to answer both separately.
I have.
No, you haven't, because your party at this moment hasn't been able to enact those reforms that we were talking about. There
I
hasn't been
just
closure.
explained you that the reforms, they have to come through parliament, and parliament needs a 2/3 majority.
Okay.
So
You're not going to call new elections, and until 2023, you don't have that majority.
yes, we have some certain handicaps.
So if
Everybody
I
knows
voted,
that.
so if I voted for your party and I voted for the accountability agenda, what should I do until 2023?
You should do what you think right on the day of the voting.
Okay, not
I
vote
mean,
for you?
No, I mean, that is your opinion. Please don't represent the whole Pakistan. I mean, it is
I'm
your
a citizen.
question.
No, hang on.
That
I'm a
is why I'm
citizen.
saying
Are you going
that
to
it is
talk to
your
every
question.
voter like that?
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that you should vote according to your conscience, because you think that the accountability was the main promise, and since it has not been fulfilled for whatever reason, you cannot vote this party. But there are other people who would look at the performance of the government, who would look at the economy the government has improved. They would look at how they have handled COVID, how they have handled their foreign policy, how they have handled Afghanistan, how they have increased the economic activity, the industrialization, what the Asas program is doing for a poor man, not a common, I would say. So, I mean, these are the priorities. So, but your question, perhaps it appeared that it is the question for deciding a vote given to PTI in the next election based on this thing. That's your priority, which I have.
No, during this program earlier, the first question I asked you was, what is the number one priority of your party?
I said
And
the
I-
top
I-
agenda.
I have-
and I explained you.
You,
that
you know how many
recovery,
times I have
which-
interviewed Imran Khan Sahab before he came to power, right? Every time we used to ask him,
I know.
he used to say number one agenda.
You don't
is
have to repeat this thing
accountability.
because you are repeating this thing for 10th time. I
you're
know,
not
I have
accepting
not rejected. I said yes, it is one of the top agenda, and I explained you that during the 3 years period of PTI government, there has been recovery of more than 3 times, equivalent to 17 years of past governments.
Right.
So does it not convey something?
Right,
that
but bad actors,
I mean,
the
it may
people
be-
you call bad actors are not out of commission. They are still part of the system. They still extract.
They are. So corruption is a deep-rooted problem. It will require many things to do. It will require reforms. It will require a vision. It will require a will. It will require time.
Okay, I will take your suggestion about 2023 elections and voting as your conclusion for today. I'm told that we have to conclude the program now. Thank you very much, Ahmed Jawad Sahab, for your precious time. Arif Chaudhry Sahab, thank you very much for your precious time. Earlier, Ali Rashid Sahab was also with us on Skype. So we have to conclude it here. You have listened to various discussions. Of course, an anchor's work is, or job is, to act contrarian. So one has to actually confront any idea that is given so that you hear the best of the arguments. Whether you've heard the best of the arguments or not, that is for you to decide. This was today's program. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.